people's mental health and physical health is sacrificed, right? So what they do, they decide to give people a cap on how many hours you can work, expecting them to be healthier, right? But how can you expect if now you're limiting the number one resource they're missing in their life, which is financials, right? They don't have enough money, so now they're going to stress even more.
Hello.
And welcome
to the
Let's Talk
Show.
Exactly.
6th episode.
Yeah, welcome everyone, and welcome to it is 6th episode.
6th episode, yes.
Pretty crazy.
Pretty good.
Yeah. How are you feeling about it?
I'm positive.
Yeah.
After the last little mess.
Yeah, last episode, we said it's a mess.
I hope that one doesn't go viral.
Yeah, it's only because we didn't track the time at all. And within our introduction, which was just supposed to be a brief catch-up about
our holiday,
it ended up being a 40 minutes chat.
Yeah.
And then we did our first topic about addiction, and that was over an hour long. We
could have literally do an episode about Tunisia.
Yeah.
Do an episode about addiction.
But yeah, today we don't really want to do that. I think we're both doing okay. The channel's going all right. We had one short on YouTube that reached quite a lot of views. Nothing amazing, 7.4k at the moment.
I think we spoke about it last time.
Yeah, but we're still...
Yeah.
And it kind of... I remember when we first hit... What was it? When we first hit 1,000 views, we were...
1,400, I remember.
We were so happy.
Yep.
And now it's almost like... Not across every platform, but across... Especially Instagram. It's Instagram quite consistent now. Above 1,000. So we're getting somewhere, right?
Our first 1.4k was on Instagram anyways.
Yeah.
So... but we've realised that people don't want to listen about us.
No.
You don't want to know us. You don't care. And it's fair.
We're here for the topics and we just waffle too much before we get into topics. So today.
Very nice topic. I wasn't sure of this topic, but then when we started researching into it, we just got more angry and angry.
I got so angry when we were planning this topic.
I was cross.
I was just fuming.
Yeah.
So
it's well, we can say the topic today is modern day prison.
And what we mean by that is we just think that the way that the society is framed at the moment is like a prison, right? People have to work 9 to 5 long hours. Most people work even longer hours, right? All the money they earn barely is enough to cover the living expenses, right? People just live in a prison cycle.
Before we even establish the topic, do you not reckon that 9 to 5, as you know that the word 9 to 5,
yeah,
if you could actually make a good living, like as in decent money, I think 9 to 5 would be lovely.
Yes.
But because it doesn't give you that good living, that's why it's annoying.
But I think, my personal opinion, I think working 9 to 5 is ridiculous. I think it's a very old school way of looking at it, right? Like, work hard, right? You have to work hard. I understand, but think about it. 9 to 5, 8 hours of work, right? Most people don't like working, right? Most people don't like the workplace. You're working 8 hours for someone else's success where you're getting paid a very small percentage of it. I think it's too much. I think people are generally working too much and not enjoying life. And what I mean by enjoying life is just doing the normal thing, getting into fitness, being into health, taking care of the mental health, like spending time with friends, family. All these sort of things are sacrificed because of 9 to 5.
There's 365 days in a year. Yeah. And you only get about 28 days holidays in a 9 to 5 work. Yeah. That means 340, 336, whatever. 340 days in a year you're working, right? Yeah. Obviously 9 to 5, weekends are off, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But weekends, if you're working 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, weekends is a bit still, it's not, doesn't really feel like a break.
Look what people do on a weekend, right? People use weekends as a way to get a lot of enjoyment out, right? That they didn't get throughout the week. And most people parties, drinking.
Yeah, but do you know what? I think when you reach adulthood, it's not even parties. It's you finish 9 to like every day. You're not bothered to do the tasks at home. So you're then the weekend is catching up what's left at home.
How often have you done this? Where you Saturday or Sunday you spend all day cleaning.
Yes.
All day organising everything that
gardening, cleaning, grocery shopping. You need to do all these. You pre-plan all these things for a weekend. Oh, I'm off, so I can do some grocery shopping. Oh, I'm off. I need to catch up on gardening. Oh, I'm off. you don't have time. And then Sunday doesn't feel like off because you need to go early to bed anyways because you're waking up to work tomorrow. Friday evening doesn't feel because you're like a day off because you're already after work, so you're tired. So Saturday, so you technically have one day a week.
Yeah. And let's talk about work-life balance.
Yeah.
You know, people say work-life balance, but the term life also has work in it. You know, you have light-related tasks that you need to do. So there is no work-life balance.
No.
Because you work and then you complete, in the free time, you complete the tasks that you have to do with your life anyway. And then when is the time to spend with your loved ones and the family, right? It doesn't exist.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. It doesn't
For
exist.
a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got a few points we wanted to cover.
Yeah, we've got points. I don't really know the order of them, but we're going to just kind of wing it just to make it kind of all stick together.
Yeah.
With this topic, we're going to start with like little backstory of history, right? General economy. I don't want to dig too deep into the topic.
Too much because we're not professional. Right?
No.
We live this life, so it does affect us. So we just want to talk about it. But.
So expenses obviously went up.
Huge.
You know, let's compare. You know, we can compare 100 years ago, 5,000 years ago, but let's say 1970s. You know,
50 years ago.
That's 50 years ago, 54 years ago. Since then, expenses went up rapidly. The pay went up a lot as well, but not equivalent to the expenses. So sometimes you see these figures, you know, like on average back in the days in 1970s, you in UK you used to get 32 quid a week.
Yeah.
The average pay. You know, now it's like 475. Oh wow, we went 12 times more. But the living expenses is what's the problem, right?
Yeah.
So a little point that we found before even recording this is the house costs.
Which is the biggest expense for most people.
Yes, the rent.
Yeah.
Rent, you know, or even a mortgage.
Or mortgage. But generally buying a house or just living it, right?
So in 1970s, average house cost was around £4,000, which would be equivalent to around 50k. There's a little... So
what you're saying, if, like according to now, based on the percentage back in the day, if the percentage stayed the same,
the house would be worth 50 grand, right? 50,000. So in today's money, right? So house prices went 65 times higher since 1970s, right? 65 times higher. A lot of people you meet, I meet, you know, and they are older. They own a house.
They will have houses.
How many friends do you have currently between the age of 20 and 30 that own a house?
None, because no one can afford to live.
No. How many of them have a mortgage? I can count on one hand.
Okay, so I know a couple that have a mortgage, but I don't know a single person that is single, not in a relationship, that can afford a mortgage.
No.
And you know why? I remember when I wanted to get a mortgage with my brother, right? A long time ago.
Oh, yeah, you did, yeah.
Because I had 2 years of self-employed accounts and I was actually able to do it. And so at this point, I was earning around minimum wage, around 26,000 pounds, right? A year. And I was only allowed to get £100,000 on a mortgage. And I asked the mortgage...
You can buy a shed.
Yeah, I was asking the mortgage advisor, I was like, so how much do I actually need to earn in order to buy a house? Like something, let's say £200,000.
Yeah.
And it was something between 40 to 50,000 pounds. So me and my brother combined together was just enough to get a low level standard house on the market. Like £200,000 is where the houses start, right? Actually live.
That's in the worst areas as well.
Yeah.
That you don't want to buy this to then have a future within that house.
Exactly. So me and my brother combined together, having minimum wage jobs, right? Both combined together, we are able to afford a low class house. Two people.
That's sad. Because a lot of people don't even reach that 40, 50k bracket. You know, not at young age. Because, you know, if you're in one trade for 15, 20 years, you will eventually get that because every year you get a little pay rise. You know, you can work your ways up in the companies.
But again, yes, of course. But
the older you get, the harder it is to get a mortgage.
It is.
Because why would I get a mortgage when I'm 50 years old for 30 years?
And also, you know, when you're by yourself, earning that amount of money, you also spend it, you know? You also live your life. You have your luxury stuff, right? You can't save everything. And you do need to save money for the mortgage as well. So it's not that easy. So yeah, it's Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. But let's pull out the screenshot I took, right? So, by a guy found it on old Twitter, now it's X, Freddie. He's a I think council member from Preston.
Mm-hmm.
He made this post saying in 1970s the average yearly wage was 1.2k. The average house price was 4.6k. So that means the average house cost is 3.89 times the average yearly salary. So basically 4 years if you never spend a penny.
So if you never spend any money, it will take around 4 years.
Yeah. So if you've got a partner, you live off one wage, and then that person just saves 100% for 4 years, you got a house paid off.
Possible.
In 2019, I don't know the figures from now because it's just all over the place, the market. But average yearly wage was 26,000 in 2019. The average house price is 234k. That means the average house cost 8.96 times the average yearly salary. So now you live off one wage, which already is impossible.
Mm-hmm. To pay for the rent for 2 people, impossible.
Groceries, everything, and you need to save every single penny. For 9 years. Well, 8.96, for 9 years. It's impossible.
And then think about it, like we mentioned it before, right? Imagine most people, let's say you're a single person, right? Let's say you're a single person earning that average wage right now. You can save how much money in a year?
Let's even say you can save 10% because you work close to your house, you don't need a car.
You still have to pay for rent and everything else, right? So the expenses are super high. You save 10%.
The maths is heavy, but like if it's 26k, as the guy said in 2019, 10% is 2.6k. The house costs 260k, so it's times 100. So yeah, in 100 years you can buy that house by cash.
So realistically, without any mortgage support,
you got to be immortal.
You can't buy a house.
You can't. With your money, even your kids probably can't, because they'll be maybe they can. They'll be like 60 to buy a house, so their grandchildren can have a house. But what about you? Yeah. For the rich people, that's good. Rent, investment. But this is the topic, modern day prison.
Yeah.
For working class.
They're not in the prison.
Yeah, they're not. They don't have 9 to 5.
The working class is in the prison.
Yeah. So, but there's no death penalty in our prison. There's only suicide, and that's why the suicidal rates are also high.
But it wasn't back in 1970s. It wasn't perfect, right?
No.
It was a little bit better. It wasn't perfect.
No, of course not. They've had struggles as well.
The idea of the entire society, we're supposed to be getting better.
Mm-hmm.
It got worse.
Mm-hmm.
A lot worse. Right? Making it super expensive. And if you really compare, I think nowadays we have more expenses than people had in the 1970s.
Yeah, no, 100%. And it's not only by just a standard of us moving forward, like you didn't have such a phone bill, let's say, back in the days because you didn't have the latest iPhone 15.
Mm-hmm.
But even the cars were probably, 1970s, so probably still like a little bit common, but not as many as now.
But not everyone had a car. Back in the day, it was very common to use public transport, right? People were on the cycles. I've seen a picture this morning, right? I was scrolling through social medias, and there was a picture, I think actually it was 1960s or 1980s, something in that area, right? And it was a picture of people on the beach, right? And I just looked at them, right? Everyone was slim, everyone was in shape, everyone's relatively happy, right? And you can just see they lived a more simpler life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now, because of all the luxury, people just getting out of shape. You can see how it all changed, right? So
women were more keen to stay at home, being stay-at-home moms, because they knew husband can provide, and husbands were in better mental state because they knew they can provide.
Yeah.
Nowadays, a lot of people blame girls like, oh yeah, but why don't you want to have the old values? We can't afford them anyways. What are we arguing about? Well, as a working class, I can't really go to let's say now I have a wife and kids. I can't really say like, I want to provide. I want to provide. But it's impossible in the working class. And I don't blame a girl that would say, no, I need to work. Mm-hmm. Girls also have their expenses, right? How are you paying 2 phone bills? How are you paying this rent alone? How are you paying for the groceries?
Yeah, like you're absolutely right. Like nowadays, even if like a relationship, right? Most women, they have to take care of the kid, right? Because of course, man tends to work more hours, right? But nowadays, stay at home mum, it's not really a thing.
I don't know how much maternity leave is. I didn't check. I think
it's that much.
£400 to £600 a year, a month.
That's a phase, but then they tend to go back to work.
Of course, because have to.
Single income is no longer enough.
No.
To cover all the expenses.
Mm. Yeah, unless you got a good job, but that's not the topic today. No. So for a normal standard family, like the government wants us to be, right? Wants us to be 9 to 5 and provide for the government as well, pay the taxes, work as much as possible. You just can't do it. So you don't have time for yourself, right? The problem I have though is you don't have time for yourself. Your mental and physical stability, health decreases. So we don't have money and we're working the long hours. So what does the government do? Working time directives. So you can now work, I think by law, for an adult, maximum 48 hours a week.
Okay, so it's capped, so overtime is limited.
Yes. 48 hours is not enough.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. From the government's point of view, amazing, right? Because people's mental health and physical health is sacrificed, right? So what they do, they decide to give people a cap on how many hours you can work, expecting them to be healthier, right? But how can you expect if now you're limiting the number one resource they're missing in their life, which is financials, right? They don't have enough money, so now they're going to stress even more.
Yeah.
People now are forced to look for other jobs. More and more stress. And to be fair, I'll tell you like a story once. I think it was like about a year or 2 years ago, where I had some unexpected payments to be made for HMRC, right? Because I am self-employed.
Yeah.
Right? And I remember I was stressing because out of nowhere, now I have £6,000 to pay, right? Out of nowhere, right? I am single. I was able to manage it, right? But I remember how stressed I was.
Of course.
And even went from my head, I was like, dude, if I just jump under the car, all the problems solved.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? And I was like, how such a stupid society we live in where financials almost dictate how happy I am in life.
Of course.
It became such a big resource, such a big thing that we generally need in life, that people just stress too much over it.
And work is also a stress, right? And now, as you said, rightly so, people can't work a lot of overtimes in one job. No. So they will look for part-time jobs, right? So now they've got 2 jobs. So that's double stress.
What government does?
Oh, tax. The extra tax. Yeah, so... Yeah. I actually forgot about that. That's ridiculous. But let's talk about, for a minute, like, expenses. Okay.
Well, what is average monthly income? Because I don't know. But I think it was
research. £475 a week last time I checked, but let's say
and that's net.
Average, yes.
Yeah.
Average monthly income UK 2024. Well, average UK salary by age in what is the average salary in the UK in 2024? That's the equivalent to an annual pre-tax, before tax, 35k. I strongly disagree because I don't know many people now on 35k.
No.
We got to also say that we're from South. South is way more expensive than North. Housing there is absolutely cheap as chips. I was looking for houses in Manchester, right? Roughly £300 less a month.
Uh-oh.
Studio flat, how much you said? £900 you said? About a nice one?
Around £1,000 for a studio flat.
You could, but that's like nicest areas. But like for like a mid, I'd say you can get...
You're not going to get anything less than £800.
No. In Manchester, or Manchester was it? Yeah, I think Manchester was, or Liverpool.
Yeah.
In Liverpool, 600, I think £20 it was last time I saw. I don't know the areas in Liverpool, so I can't really say on that. But £620 you had 2 bedroom.
Huge difference, right? But then... I'm guessing the income is different as well.
No.
It's not?
No, because it's average UK.
You have the minimum wage, right?
Yeah. It's across the UK. So you get paid the same here and paid there. I know sometimes in southern areas or like London areas, you get extra like 20p an hour.
What's that?
That's nothing. Because that gets taxed as well.
But yeah, okay, let's say... I think...
So let's say even
I'm so sure the minimum at the moment is like, what, £26,000 a year?
Minimum now is £11.44. So if you're working... £11.44 times 40 hours a week times 54 weeks in a year. 52 weeks, 23.7k. That's on minimum wage.
Yeah.
So let's talk about minimum wage because we're focused on minimum.
But that's taxed as well.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. So tax is what, 20%?
Yeah. After what is it, £12,000 threshold, tax-free threshold. So
yeah, I'm not bothered to count it. So let's just stuck to a number.
Let's just say 23,000. Let's ignore the tax, right?
Yeah. 23,000. 23,000 divided by 12 months, right? Is so you get 1.9k a month. I agree with that one. Mm-hmm. That's roughly
that's
what it is. 1.9k. Okay, so you're single. We're not talking relationships. We're not talking parents help you. We're not talking you had some will from grandparents. No, you're single. You're getting 1.9k. Rent.
Well, okay. Let's say for rent. Let's say you are really single, right? Living on a budget. Let's say you rent a room in a house share, right? Let's go for that because that's so expensive. These are between £500 to £600 a month.
I don't want to look at house shares though. I want to look at like you need some level of life.
So what do you want? Studio flat or do you want
a studio? Let's say you're single. Let's say studio flat.
£700 to £800.
Okay, £750. Let's say.
Okay.
£750. I'm going to pull out a calculator, right? So £750. So you're earning 1.9k. So £750 plus
bills and council tax. Up to £200.
£200, I say a month.
Yeah.
Because that's what I've gathered from friends around. So that's already £950, right? Mm-hmm. Now, you're single, groceries. We're not talking about eating out.
Minimum £50 a week.
Let's keep 40, because some people there will argue, like, oh, I can live off tenner. Do you know what I mean? Pot noodles every day, that's it. But, okay.
Yeah, but of course, health is important as well, right?
Okay, so if we...
Like, we're talking about decent life, right?
We're trying to have a decent life on budget, right? So, okay, so extra 200 for groceries.
Yeah.
So extra 200 for groceries. Okay. Phone bill, let's say you pay 30 quid.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to not even go all out. 30 quid.
You have your subscriptions, right? Netflix, Spotify, all these stuff, right?
Okay, so that's, let's say, £45.
Yeah.
Because you're on a budget, right? No Disney Plus for you.
No.
But you also, did we include in the bills internet?
No, it doesn't.
No,
comes,
so
right?
so let's say 25 on the. You're not on a crazy 25. So 25 quid there. I don't know what else.
Let's assume you have a car.
Let's not even assume that. Let's finish the household first. So we got groceries. Do I have anything on the list? So we got renting, bills, other payments, groceries. So for alone what we just kind of calculated, groceries, bills, a little subscriptions, and rent. You're looking at £1,250. Then
also add a little bit for the cleaning products, right? Toilet paper, all these little things as well, right?
Okay, let's say, because at the start you kind of spend a lot for that, to have this in a household. Yeah. Let's say extra £20 a month. Cleaning materials, toilet paper, whatever.
Yeah, we don't have to be too specific, right?
No.
General idea.
So 20.
So what we're looking at now?
1,270. Okay, so now let's not even talk about this car here, because if we're talking modern day prison, someone in the government would say, oh, but car is luxury.
Well, that's the thing. That's what me and my clients spoke about this recently, where having a car now, and having a license in general, is a higher class thing.
I ain't got a license. I'm a bum. I'm stuck in a cycle. £1,270. Okay, let's keep that number now, right? So 1,900 minus 1,270. So you're left with £630. Right? £630. What else is there?
But that's already really bad.
That's bad. If you add car to it, you take away... Well, the car costs you something, but you take away insurance, £150, and petrol, £200.
It depends how much you had the car, but even if you had £100 for insurance, right? And then, it depends how much you drive, right? I spend £200 a month.
Okay, so £100
But I don't drive everywhere. It just goes quickly, right? But £200 on petrol. Then you have your tax for the car. That's going to get expensive, let's say £50. So straight away. So
just by having a car, you're left with £380.
Yeah.
Now...
And let's say you have a girlfriend or your mum's birthday or whatever comes up.
Do you know what? I'll even say even worse. Imagine if you have a dog because you're single, you want to have something in your house.
Yeah.
The vet will cost you £380. Yeah. Imagine if you're waking up today and you have a toothache, right?
Yeah.
You go into a dentist on NHS. If they need to do like a I think that the lowest band now is like 40 quid anyway for the check-up.
For the check is 40 quid.
Yeah.
So, some do 70.
Yeah, so some do
It's super crazy.
So £100 if you just got a toothache. So now you're living in a constant cycle of stress.
Constant, because let's assume you had the car. What was the leftover that we had?
380.
380. So let's even say you had £100 left a week.
Yeah.
Right? I can, like, what did we do the other day? We met up with Raf, right?
Yeah.
Raf is a friend. So we met up, and how much did you spend?
£50.
For nothing.
On a box of beer, 12 pack of beer.
Yeah.
Plus we went out to eat. I've had a portion of cockero.
Yeah.
And in that cockero, because you guys are bastards, I bought you all a drink.
Yeah.
Okay, so I spent 50 quid. In an hour. So
let's say even limit yourself to £50 a week. So on a weekend you can see your friends, right?
Yeah.
Or have a takeaway. You will be left with £200.
What if you smoke? What if you like a drink?
Yeah.
You know, smoking costs £15 a packet. That's a luxury.
Let's assume you can have those £200 that you can save. So even if you say, right, you can save £2,400 a year, right? But then Christmas, birthday, your own expenses, right? Emergency expenses. You know, even if you do have a car, right? It breaks. MOTs, right? If something's in the house, you want to have a TV, you know, you might want a new sofa. Like, we use laptops, right?
We haven't even spoke about going on a holiday at least once a year.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, you're stuck in the four walls for a whole year and you're working 40 hours a week. So the government wants you to do something, working time directives.
Yeah.
You got 2 days off now in a week. Do something. For what? What am I going to do? Walk to the park? They'll flipping tax the park soon. Yeah. If you got a car and you're trying to drive to the closest park, that's a £10 for a parking ticket. For just parking
for the
spot.
journey, yeah. And then the car park. Oh.
Let's not talk about car parks.
But car parks,
for
ridiculous.
For you?
Yeah, for me, just tickets.
You've supported the whole government.
Yes,
this month.
But they're expensive.
Of course.
I was in city centre the other day. I wanted to park for 2 hours. £5.
You work in city centre, mate?
Yeah, but the gym I go at is a little bit cheaper because I pay for the full day. But
okay,
I still pay £6-7 a day.
So £6 a day, times 30.
Don't even go with the tickets because
but £6 a day.
Yeah,
and you want to work there. What 20? Let's say you're in 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So you're working 20 days a month. 6 times 20. That's £120 on your flipping parking spot. You've just spent about £250 on this luxury of a car, right? And now extra £120 to park your fucking car.
Yeah.
I'm actually pissed.
Because you need to transport, right? If not, you got the bus, it's £50 a month. If you don't have the bus, Uber. Everything costs.
Yep.
There's no way to save money.
No. So what happens? You go down that spiral towards debt. So you're going to go into debt. Now, banks are very, very keen on giving you credit card.
They love it.
They love it. You're making them money.
Yeah.
That's how banks have money. That's how they circulate.
Yeah.
You know, if you put in your savings account £5,000, that's my credit card. Do you know what I mean? So let's not talk about economy, but the debt. What happens if you can't afford the debt? Your credit score goes down. What happens when your credit score goes down? All your other percentages goes up. Now your mortgage goes up, so now you spend more. Now your insurance provider is going to find out, oh, you're in debt. Well, you might, you know what? If you're paying monthly for insurance, you might not be able to afford it. So you need to pay more just to prove to us that you can afford it.
Yeah.
Because your low credit score. So now you, rather than £100 for your insurance, you now pay £120. Which in a matter of a year, that's £240.
Yeah.
So now it leaves you with £2,000 just for yourself. Right? And that cycle is insane.
And everyone is in a little of debt. I remember when I used to work in a pub, right? There was that weird thing. It was a debt crate, right? What we had, you would basically, before, let's say you worked the first 2 weeks of the month, right? And you had 2 weeks left to complete before you get paid, right? So what they would do, we had an app where you can borrow the money. You can take some money out. Oh my days! People would literally take the money out. Not, you can't take all of it out, but you can take 50% of what's already there. So the people take 50% of what they already earned first 2 weeks in, where they're 2 weeks still before getting paid, and then when they get paid, they already have no money.
So they get it again.
Yeah, so they do it again. And they basically create their own debt.
And now, so this kind of, do you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of these websites like Klarna, ClearPay, where you want to buy some clothes, right? You don't have the money for clothes. Let's say your holiday's coming and you want some clothes, you know, like girls might want some like, you know, new bikinis, whatever, you know, you want to look nice on a holiday, right? You want to feel yourself finally, like once a year. You can't afford it. So you go to Klarna, they will offer you 0%, which is nice. But you're going to buy, because that Klarna sets you into like 3 installments. So every month, you can pay it all by once or you can put it in 3 installments. But if you put it in 3 installments, now let's say your budget is £100 to spend on clothes for this holiday.
Yeah.
But now you see £100 every month doesn't look that bad. So you spend £300. Because that installments make you feel like you're...
Because, the payments are smaller, right? And then you basically create more expenses.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe it's not debt, but now you have to pay more each month. So your life, the quality of life drops down.
So
solutions to that?
Well, the solution in this world is only one.
But what is it?
Relationship.
Oh, exactly, right?
And it's sad.
And what's sad about this...
We love relationship topics, by the way.
More relationship topics coming. But the thing with relationships, what happens then? People are like, okay, I can't afford this living by myself, but now I can split 50, everything 50-50.
Nice.
If I get into a relationship. Perfect, right? Because now you basically spend less, but you have the same quality of life.
It's a scam. Can you... We've been in Tunisia, right?
Yeah.
You know, in Tunisia, when they say you're from Europe, you can afford it.
Yeah.
This relationship thing seems to me like it's the government saying like, oh, you're in a relationship now, you can afford it.
Yeah.
Get yourself a girlfriend, get yourself a boyfriend, so you can afford it.
But what happens then? Because I think UK is very well known for crappy relationships.
Oh, yeah.
People get into a relationship because either they're bored or they generally, 2 individuals realize, you know, life is difficult. I'm struggling with money. Let's get together. Let's have kids. Let's get benefits, whatever, right? But people end up in poor quality relationships because of financial issues.
Of course.
You know, financial situation dictates when you get into a relationship and almost who with.
Of course.
That's not how it's supposed to be.
No, of course not.
And then...
There's no feelings involved in forming the relationship. It's all banknotes.
So... The thing is, I don't really care, right? If the student interviews have bad relationships...
so itchy.
I don't care if they have bad relationship, right? I genuinely don't care. But when they have a kid...
Yeah, they have a kid. Now the mother is stressed because she has to stop working, at least for a certain period of time. The maternity is poor. So where she looks at her husband or boyfriend, fiance, whatever, at the partner, looking at him, being like, well, you have to now provide. And he sits there, is like, it's my duty to provide.
So now you're...
I can't provide.
Yeah, now you're on the starting point with where you have to cover yourself and 2 other individuals.
Yeah.
Game over. And not to even speak about if people in such a bad life situations get together, the raising of the kids is also not great. No. Because 2 individuals don't really love themselves because they didn't pick each other for love. So there's even a totally different issue, right?
The thing is, if you have a kid, you can't really go to your kid and be like, do you know what? We're not going to have a dinner today because we don't have money.
Yeah, that's sad.
It is sad. It is sad. And what's the... This is why I really, really respect Poland, because child benefit in Poland is probably the best in Europe at the moment. I think 2 years ago, I've read that Polish child benefit system is top in Europe. I'm not sure about the rest of the world, but top in the Europe. They actually provide for the kids. You know, now it's 800. It used to be 500. Now it's 800 of obviously Polish currency. Now it's 800 and it's per kid till he finishes education.
Yeah, that's good.
That's 2.4k every month. That's minimum wage.
I'm saying
if you got 3 kids.
It sounds good. I don't know how it is right there, right? But that's good amount.
It's good. In here, it's peanuts, man. Peanuts. How much do you spend on a kid, Simon? Did you got a kid?
No.
Not yet.
Unfortunately.
Not yet. Girls, hit him up for the kids. He makes probably good looking babies. He's a good looking guy. But I don't know how much you spend on a kid, right? But nappies cost, wet wipes cost, little baby food cost, you know.
Everything costs.
Do you know how funny it is? I've read it somewhere. I've read it, or someone said it next to me, actually. It was like, oh, but feeding the kid is cheap because mum's got breastfeeding. Yeah, but she needs to eat as well, right? It doesn't just come from the sky. Do you know what I mean? Like, how much do we spend on a kid? Phone a friend. We got a friend that got a kid. Is she gonna pick up?
I don't know.
She's actually on a group chat call.
What? Join.
Girls, go. Natty. Natty, speak in English. Natty, can you just tell me how much roughly do you spend on nappies a month? Just a rough number.
Let me calculate it.
No, don't calculate, just a rough number.
Yeah, I don't know a rough number. Let me think about it.
Okay, a month. How much is a packet?
Oh, fucking hell. Wait.
How much is a packet? I just need that number quick.
I'd say like £280 to £300 a month.
£300 a month on nappies?
280, yeah, 280 I'd say.
On nappies?
Yeah, but now that she's older, it's a bit easier. But when they're newborns, it's even worse because they shit like.
Okay, sound.
£300 on nappies. Yeah, I thought she was gonna say like 150.
Shall we wrap this episode now?
350 on nappies. So then, when you have a baby, you have to choose whether you have a car or a baby.
Talk to the audience. I need the drink.
I'm just. You know what's the worst thing? She said just nappies.
Cheers.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Peak. What can we say? Yeah, it is ridiculous. £300 just for the nappies, and then if you think about it, you have all the other expenses that come with the kid.
How many nappies does a kid use?
Don't go too far into it.
No, I'm not. I just want to see nappies. 100. I think she over-exaggerated that number a little bit, but I don't want to argue with her because obviously she's a mother. So I'm not like I'm not going to sit here being like, oh, you're wrong. But what I just saw here is so like for older babies like now, like 15 kilogram babies, so like maybe like 4 years old, 132 nappies cost £50. If they go through like 3 nappies a day, I'm just doing this calculation, 132 divided by 3, that's 44 days of nappies for £50. But that's older kid. But she literally just said, she's like,
yeah, less now, but more when she was younger. And don't forget, like,
to all the mothers out there and to all the fathers, I'm very sorry.
Yeah, so it's just ridiculous. You just it's just too little, man. Everything is just bad. £300. That's what we mean. This is why. This is the modern day prison, right? You are forced to work 9 to 5. Not only you're working for someone, so you don't. Most people don't enjoy where they're working, right? You're working for someone else's success. You get paid, and the payments you get is just enough to keep you in the system.
I wasn't even going to say so. Because imagine if you don't have an option of a debt. Imagine if you're already in debt and you have no options to get more debt.
Mm-hmm.
You're actually screwed heavily. Like if maternity is from work is £600 and you spend let's just say £200, on nappies a month. Baby food, wet wipes, bullshit. The kid grows at the young stage very fast.
Yeah, so it doesn't even cover the expenses for the babies.
What about the clothes?
So and then you are generally forced to live on a single wage. So if you're a single person,
there's going to be someone out there that is going to say something like, "Oh, but if you're not ready for kids, don't have them."
Yeah, of course.
But it's not. That's not the point, right?
Of course, if you're not ready for kids, don't have kids, right? But we're just saying. It should, like, for some people, it's impossible to get ready for kids. That's what we're trying to say, right?
There's never a right time.
Yeah. Like, of course, everyone wants to be in a better financial situation where they can provide more for the kids, right? Where the foundation is set and it's just there, right? But most people will not get there. A lot of people are stuck on that minimum wage. And a lot of people, they barely can save £100 to £200 a week, a month. And that is spent anyway, because they want to have some fun in life. Because everything they're doing is just working. And then when they're not working, they're making sure that the place they're renting is clean.
Do you know what this episode kind of, do you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of my little trauma. Because, you know, as a working single guy, I can still afford my little things in life.
Yeah.
Got certain privileges in life as well that obviously support me. Now, I work a little bit more hours as well, but I am a workaholic. I like to work.
Yes.
But the thing is, I have this little thing in me, what always scares me, right? Is when I'm in like a shop. And you know, in the shop, you see a mother with a kid or like a father with a kid, and the kid's like, oh, Dad, Mom, can I get this chocolate bar? And the parent's like, no. And it's like, okay, if it's a no for good reasons,
yeah,
health reasons, whatever, like we've got chocolate at home, like why would I buy this? Like, it's fair, but 50% of these are probably no because we can't afford it.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's one of these traumas for me because like, I don't want to ever be in a situation where I'm with a son or daughter in a shop and I can't afford a lollipop.
You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to make the situation even harder. Because most people have more than one baby.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Christmas comes.
Yeah. And you just spend. And you know what's the problem with like Christmas? And this is the problem. I haven't seen it in Poland, for example, right? But I saw it in England. I remember, I don't know how it's now in Poland, but I remember back in days in Poland, when there was Christmas, right? Because obviously it's a religious country, we focused on the religious aspect of Christmas, right? So you come back, you come back to school after Christmas and you're like, oh, so how did you spend with your family, blah, 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 you know? I remember coming back to school in UK, first thing that the teachers said, what did you get?
Yeah.
You're in a class. Obviously, the class has a variety of people from different backgrounds, different families, right?
It's all about who got a better gift.
Exactly.
That's what it's all about.
And it's like, there's always that one kid that will literally get like socks. Do you know what I mean? Like just say.
Yeah, one gets socks and then another one gets
PlayStation.
New PlayStation, right?
And it's like, you come back home and you like look at your parents and it's like, they don't love me.
Yeah.
But it's not them not loving you.
Because the kid just doesn't understand, right? But yeah. I think, we're going too deep into the...
Yeah, but it hurts me, you know?
Yeah, it's...
But, okay, let's not go deep. But let's talk about the outcome then, right? The outcome is, obviously, affects your mental health, like we said. And it affects your... Bloody hell. And it affects your... I needed to get this. You know, I said I'm not going to open it, but I opened it just because I'm stressed.
Yeah.
The outcome is mental health. The outcome is physical health. The government's saying, don't work too much, but you need to.
Yeah.
They don't give you hours. How are you supposed to survive? And
not like that's the thing. Not only, I think I mentioned before, but not only you're working in a workplace that you most likely don't enjoy, right?
Yeah.
But also, like, not only you're stressing because of that, but you're also stressing because you just can't afford living. You know how many people, because of financial issues, think about suicide as the option out?
A lot of people.
Do you know why? Because all of those issues disappear. You no longer have to worry about financials. You no longer have to worry about working.
What world do we live in that we need to use suicide as an only way out?
Yeah, we know it's not the only way out, right? But
and it should never be.
But for a lot of people, it is.
and now it's like elections, and the governments will be like, "Oh yeah, we'll cut the tax, we'll do this, we'll do that," and they never do it anyways. And it's like, we're always stuck in this vicious cycle because what can we do? But the government has money to send to war. That's not even your war. But the government has money to build a new road, but people are struggling out there.
Yeah, that's what like Southampton, for example, right, where we live, roadworks everywhere. They cost millions. Right? I understand it provides work for these people, right? But this money could be spent on such a better things.
Give it back.
No.
All right. Anyways,
yeah. Let's move on. What else? What are we supposed to?
To be fair, we covered most what we have there. It's just now purely like our opinion. Do you have? Because obviously I want to watch this time so people actually like maybe watch this episode and not fall asleep. What's the time saying? Like, do you have any idea?
No. I can probably check it here.
Yeah.
We're on 46 minutes.
46 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's give it another 5 minutes and then we can wrap it up.
Yeah.
So because we don't do like these questions at the end, I'll do a question now to you, right? What would be, in your opinion, a solution? What, not have kids?
No.
What, get into relation just for financials?
Also no.
I have it's not a solution, by the way, but a little backstory. I have a friend, you know him as well, no names though. He is from, I don't know what country he's from. I think he's from Bangladesh, right? Anyways, I was talking with him and he understands struggles, right? He's got now a wife and he said, we live in one house. It's I think 3 or 4 bedroom house. Me and my 2 brothers live in the same house with their wives. Now, yeah, every single couple wants to be together alone. But because they done it this way, where they live in one house, it's all spread out now between 3 families.
Yeah.
All the expenses. When they're cooking, the wives will get together because they work. It's proper like their kind of culture family, right? Wives don't work. These guys work. When they cook, when the wives are cooking, they're cooking for the whole household.
That's nice,
right? And that way they cut so many costs. Yeah, I think they're on house number 2 or 3, and they're renting.
Yeah, I think I've mentioned.
We spoke about it a couple of years back.
Someone like that as well, where this person was coming to the gym with a different car every day. I was like, "How many cars do you have?" He was like, 1. I was like, "What? You have Bentley here, you have BMW there, right? You have Mercedes there. Like, you clearly have more than 1 car." He was saying no because his entire family, cousins, the cousins' wives, brothers, they all live together. They have a massive house, and they say, "We share it." They share the cars. So if he takes 1 car, someone else takes the other car. You know, that's how it goes. And he's saying this way they manage to build wealth because they also have properties. They also have other businesses, and with businesses they've done it together. Yeah. So yeah, but this is a solution to the system, but we shouldn't adapt to the system.
Well, of course, and we shouldn't have a household with 3 families just because you're unable. It's like with these relationships. You shouldn't have to be forced to live this way to beat the system. Because the system should be there to support you and your growth. Because at the end of the day, if you grow, you pay more taxes anyways, right? So it's fine. We give back our little percentage to the government. There is no way out. Unless the government...
Unless the system changes.
Unless the system changes, unless the government will offer more help.
You know, the houses we need to have more ethical and honest world in general, right? Houses, if they were not just for pure business and actually for people to live in, game changer. Right? Currently it's just business. Right? Taxes is all business. The reason why products cost so much, because the margins of profit are so huge. You know, it's all business. If we had more honest approach in general, everything would be cheaper. Yeah. Right? But then again, with this solution, the pay will decrease because the profit margins are lower on everything else. Yes. So it's a very tricky one. But we know government takes a lot of money and we know it wastes a lot of money. Right? So realistically, minimizing the taxes and increasing the tax-free thresholds for now will help a lot. Yeah, of course. Because you pay less, you can have more tax-free money, and the money that is taxed at a lower rate. You probably save a lot of money, and it will be a little bit easier. It won't be perfect, but it will be easier. Just to open your eyes a little bit, right? We spoke about this. You know how I said Liverpool's cheaper than South? Yeah. Yet we're all on the same pay. Now imagine if you're unlucky enough and you're born in London. We're talking 1 bedroom is like 1.2k, but you're still getting paid 1.9. I told you the story where I got a job in London. I think it was 40 or 45,000 pounds a year, right? And I was like, 45,000 pounds a year. I was like, compared to Southampton, that's huge for me, right? So I was supposed to go there to check out. I was basically in a gym, and I was basically ready. And then a couple of days before I went, I did some research. And then the location, I can't remember what the location was exactly now, but I did the research, and I was looking at living in general. So I went on the market, all right, for rentals, and I typed in maximum price £1,000. So your search found, and I was like, whoa. So then I started bumping up, and I found a room for £1,100.
Well, in London?
Yeah.
A room? What, in house share?
Yeah. So the cheapest one was a room, and it was over £1,000. And then I've done the maths. I was like, you know what? I'll be better off staying in Southampton as a self-employed trainer, earning £30,000 and living the way I live.
Of course.
Because £45,000 looks good on the paper.
Yeah.
But these expenses there.
Yeah. Nah, do you know what? We'll come back to this topic. There's more to talk. But let's wrap it up here.
I'm just annoyed.
Yeah, I'm actually pissed. I need a drink. But I got work tomorrow, so I can't drink.
Yeah, we just go to the pub in a second.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Exactly. Well,
yeah.
Do you know what? I don't even want to do like a nice ending. I don't want to ask you no questions. I don't want to ask when you lost your virginity. I don't know who it was to. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't care today. I don't care today.
So yeah, if you guys have any ideas for future topics or just questions about this topic, because I think this topic can be literally expanded so much more.
And if you're watching this, just subscribe. I said I'm not going to beg for this, but like, come on, like, it's episode 6. We're obviously putting work. You guys are not.
Yeah,
just
and
subscribe.
It would be nice to know what can we improve. We've got some ideas, but in general, what can we improve? You know?
Yeah. What we need to improve is the money from this, because obviously the cost of living is going up, and because they're not subscribing, they're not seeing it.
The cost of this is higher than anything.
At the moment, we've earned 0. So, 0 is better than mine. Oh, no, it's minus because we invested.
Okay. Mine is big.
Okay.
Mine is a lot of time and money, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys, and...
Thank you so much. It's a sad topic.
And...
Comment.
Let's cry together. And yeah, we'll see you later.
Take care.